So today we've got some bad news for Marvel. Some of the first reviews for Ant-Man and the Wasp have come in now. And at Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at a 52% rotten, which is very odd for a Marvel movie to be that low. Because usually the critics love Disney Marvel movies and they shill for Disney every chance they get. But maybe we're seeing the trend start to reverse itself. Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate website. It collects scores from a bunch of different places, puts them all together, and gives you the average. But if we take a look here on Metacritic, their scores are specifically given to Metacritic. It's out of 50 based on 41 critic reviews, which is not good at all. If you do the breakdown here, you got 13 positive, 21 mixed, and 7 that are completely negative. But like I said, critics usually shill for Disney. We take a look here at Thor: Love and Thunder, which was arguably one of the worst MCU movies to come out in recent memory. It's got a 64% as far as the critics go, and a 77% as far as the audience score goes. However, even Chris Hemsworth was not pleased with this movie. He did not like the direction that they were taking Thor. Taika Waititi, the director and writer, has said that he's not going to do any more Thor movies simply because of all the negative feedback that he got from this movie. And a lot of fans didn't like it, but somehow it's got a 77% audience score here on Rotten Tomatoes. So I don't know if they froze the reviews or what. I mean, I can't go through 10,000 plus reviews just to see, what's going on here. But going back to Ant-Man and the Wasp, we could take a look at some of the audience score reviews. Now, there's only 250 plus ratings, which isn't much, but they haven't collated the score yet. I've seen them actually give a score when there's only been 50 ratings. But here we have 250 plus and they haven't given us a score yet. And we can take a look at some of these. A lot of these are half star, horrendous, best seen incoherent, another generic and boring Marvel movie. And we got 1 star, half a star. Then we have some really kind of strange ones. 5 stars, but they write this movie is still confusing, which seems like you would only give it a 2 or a 3 or even a 1 with that kind of commentary on it. Then we got 5 stars, 5 stars. There's a 4. Then we go back to half stars. If we go to the next page, this is where it gets really strange. It goes back to 5 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, half a star, 5 stars, 5 or 4.5. So it's kind of strange here. These reviews are either completely positive or completely negative. We got a lot of 5 stars, some 4 stars, but mostly 5 stars, and then a lot of half a star. There's almost no in between. Nobody's giving it 2, nobody's giving it 3. It's just either they love it completely or they hate it completely, which is why I'm thinking these audience scores are really strange. There's a 3.5. Even when I saw the first trailers for this movie, I wasn't really excited about seeing it. I really did like the very first Ant-Man. Surprisingly, it was very good. I didn't think it would be. I mean, how could you create an entire movie around the Ant-Man character? Even though he was an Avenger in the comic books, he wasn't the most popular for sure. But they did. They pulled it off. The first movie was great. Second movie was okay. It wasn't as good as the first. I think they split the lead character between Hope Van Dyne and Scott Lang a little too much. They made it a lot about Hope and less about Scott. I don't think they should have done that, but at that point we were basically right in the middle of the MCU where everything Marvel was now female. according to Kevin Feige, that was the direction that he wanted to take Marvel, and that was where we really were starting to see it. But now this movie, from what I hear from people that have seen it, this movie focuses a lot on Kang the Conqueror and Janet Van Dyne. So once again, they've put Scott Lang, Ant-Man, more on the back burner and tell us more of a story between Janet and Kang, because they've obviously met in the quantum realm. She knows about him. He probably knows about her. So they're not being true and making this an Ant-Man movie. This is more of a Wasp, not Hope Van Dyne Wasp, but Janet Van Dyne. This is more of a movie about her, from what I'm hearing. So anyway, the movie comes out on Friday, which is 2 days from now. And I'm not going to see it the first weekend for sure. I don't even know if I'm going to go to the movies to see this. I've talked about this before. Movies are expensive. It's much easier to wait for it to come out on streaming and watch it at home. It's much more comfortable to watch it at home. You're talking $20 to get in, and you want to buy popcorn and sodas. So going to the movies now is an expensive ordeal, and you don't want to go by yourself. So I would have to take my son, or I'd have to take my wife. So now you're talking about $50. It's much easier to wait till it comes out on streaming. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do as far as this movie is concerned. I really haven't been to the movies since Captain Marvel, before the pandemic even started. I think that was the last time I went to the movies. But we'll wait 3 days, three or 4 days from now. People will have seen it opening day, or opening weekend, that is, and we'll get a better idea of how people are receiving this movie, and we'll be able to see more of the audience score ratings, which I put more weight into than I do the critic scores. So I'll probably be talking about this movie again next week once I see some more reviews on it, and then we'll get a better idea of how good it is or how not good it is. If you like the video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications, and I will talk to you next time.